Okay. So what I want to explain to you is a position that I got in and how I played my calls and puts today. So if you look, this is Spice chart. This green line on the bottom here is yesterday's high. So we gapped above yesterday's high. And this orange area or tan or whatever is the pre-market. So this was 7 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. Eastern time before the market opened. And then this green area was actually a high that we produced that was around October 5th. And we've been, inching our way closer to this area for a while. So we immediately got a nice green candle, engulfing candle on the 3 minute, which, got me a little interested. And I believe I took some calls. However, we rolled over. No, I'm sorry. I actually got into some puts because I was on a lower time frame. I was like, one contract, but I didn't put a stop loss. And we immediately at 9:45, PMI data came out, which was, you know, it was actually really bad. And we popped like $3, and then we wicked up to the top, and then we couldn't get over that high and rolled over. And what I ended up doing was getting into calls around here. Somewhere around here, I got into calls, and then we rolled over really hard. I didn't put a stop in, so I deserved to get burned. So I was looking, once I saw this kind of hammer candle come in, I wanted to get into some calls, and I didn't. And actually, I held my calls because I figured we were going to bounce, but we didn't. We rolled over even more, and those things went to dirt. But I ended up selling for like, down like 70% or something stupid. But yeah, once I saw this green candle pierce this red cloud, which is the ADMA, and then I saw this green hammer. I'm like, all right, I definitely want to get in some calls. And I think I took a tiny position, a starter position, and then we rolled over. But it wasn't really a hard sell off. It was a low volume, sell off. But once I saw this being produced, I'm like, this is a reversal pattern. So I ended up taking a full position and riding it up. The price action was very weird. I mean, I don't think the market really knew what to do with the information because you can see it just kept wicking up, but we never stayed below, VWAP, which is this thin blue line. But it did get me a little nervous when we produced that hammer, that red candle. I'm like, oh man, but it was low volume. And then we ended up just slowly inching higher. And I ended up selling my contract for 145%. Well, a couple of them around, when we got to this high. I said, you know what? I'm going to sell here because it's the high of the day. And I figured, I'll just secure some profits. And we ended up, rolling over actually after that. We couldn't make a new high. And then we rolled over. And we rolled right over into VWAP. I had one contract left. This time I was only up like 20 or 25% or something. So I was like, if we break VWAP, I'm going to sell. But we didn't. We put in a little hammer candle, and then we ripped right through ADMA. And I ended up taking some 377 calls, which I ended up selling for like, I don't know. I mean, this consolidation and chop, I think I sold them for like, 70% or something. But we ended up smashing through the high of day, breaking that previous high, made a new, high of this month of 380, and then rolled over. So a few things I like to look for is, one, you want to look for volume. So we got a lot of buying volume, and then you got to get a good entry. For whatever reason, the market sold off, had to digest the information that they got, and you can see that you look for a setup. This is a clear reversal. This green cloud is bullish. The red cloud is bearish. So as long as you're under that red cloud, it's pretty much bearish. But once we produce this red to green, and then you have this set up, that right there was my signal to get in. Plus, I think I have in my notes. Let me see in my notes here. Yeah, so I also look at the option chart on Thinkorswim, and so I have written that later on in the day, after this sell-off, and we had ripped through ADMA, there was around about 120 something, 121. There was someone that purchased, over 2,000 zero DTE contracts with a couple hours left of the day. So someone saw something in the price action and was like, all right, they thought that this was going to go higher, and it did, and we ripped. So what I look for is I look for candlestick patterns, candlestick closes, volume, and just price action. I try to drown out the news unless it's something that it's very imperative, but most of the news out there is just going to get you confused. So if you stick to, what I usually stick to is the high of the previous day and the low of the previous day, candlestick patterns, and volume and price action. Price action doesn't lie and volume doesn't lie, but everything else is could be finagled. So if you have any other questions, you can reach out to me on leave a comment, and you can reach out to me on Twitter, which is Wayne the Wolf 14 on Twitter. Until next time, peace.